Tell me what happened with the dog.
I was walking home from school and across the street, and a lady was coming up towards me with a dog and baby stroller. And
So she had a baby stroller. That was this lady here?
Yes. And while I was getting closer, the dog was like jumping around and making growling noises, and she was saying, "Don't do it to the dog." And
She said, "Don't do it"?
Yes.
Was she holding on to the leash?
Yeah, she had the leash on her hand while she was holding on to the leash.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, that is false.
Just a second, don't interrupt. Go ahead.
And while I passed her, the dog went around and behind her and bit me on the leg.
Okay, and what did you do? Did you go home?
Yes.
Did the lady say anything to you?
No.
Did you say anything to the lady?
No.
Did you say your dog bit me?
No.
How did you find her if you hadn't said anything to her?
It was my dad.
Your dad found her? Okay. Did you go to the doctor?
Yes.
And you had to get a shot?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me where they gave you the shot.
On both arms and both legs.
And did you have to go back for shots more than once or just once?
I would have, but they found the dog.
So you got 4 shots that day?
Yes.
Do you remember what the dog looked like?
Yes, it was white and fluffy. It's like medium size.
Had you ever seen this lady or the dog before?
No.
Okay, you can go back there. So you can stand next to your dad in case I have any other questions for you. Mr. Nunez.
Yes.
How did you find Miss Rodriguez?
The next day after, there was another incident, and then that individual we had spoken to that was in search of that dog also realized that it was the exact same dog that had bitten him. We received a phone call that following day on December 9th, and she informed us of it.
Who called you?
The individual from the Pflugerville Police Department made the phone call to me that next day.
That they had believed...
They did find that dog due to the fact of another individual being bitten.
By that dog?
By the same dog, yes.
On what date was the other individual?
That was on December 9th, in which that second incident occurred.
And the incident involving your son was on the 8th?
On the 8th, the day before. And then we've got documents of both of those incidents.
I'd like to see
needed.
both.
Your Honor, that was hearsay. That was actually, my mom was walking the dog, and there was a pit bull unleashed.
Listen to me. Don't interrupt.
Yes, ma'am.
This is both.
Both.
Unless
yes,
you,
the first is
if
ourselves.
I ask you a
and the
question,
second is
but
that
don't tell me
individual
what happened with
following
your
day.
mom and what's hearsay.
Sure.
I actually know what hearsay is.
You got it.
We're speaking of the dog that's bitten 2 different individuals, not who was walking it the second day.
Your Honor, may I point out that on that record of my mother-in-law with the second incident, it shows that the other dog was not on a leash and was coming towards my mother-in-law and our dog.
And we actually called 911 that day. My mother did.
Just a second. Were either one of you there?
No.
No, ma'am.
Now I'll hear you. Go ahead. Tell me the story.
Okay, may I approach the board?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so it was December 8th at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The school was being...
Sorry, did she say Sunday?
Just listen to me. Don't interrupt her.
Okay.
It was December 8th. It was 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I was going down Bishop's Gate. I saw that Samuel was coming, so my sister is very afraid of dogs, so I know to be respectful of others who are walking near us. And so I stopped to the left side with my dog on my left and on my right hand with the stroller. I directed Samuel to go around us, and...
Just a second. Why would you do that? No.
I didn't direct him.
Listen to me.
I just stood there.
And you have to know, you're talking to somebody who's had dogs for 50 years and who walks dog on a leash when I'm outside. Why would you direct or suggest that Sammy go around the dog?
I directed him by standing there. I didn't tell him verbally. I just stood there to the side of him so he knew that he could pass us.
Don't tell me what he knew. He passed you.
Yes, he did.
And
we walked we kept walking, and then my dog started barking as we had already walked off.
And
I turned around, and my dog was just barking, and the kid didn't react.
Just a second. Be very careful. You know, when you start to say things that you've been practicing in your mind to say, but as you actually articulate them, they sound stupid.
Okay.
Okay? They sound stupid. Then you're sort of getting away from yourself. And that's what's happening to you right now. Because now you were turning around because the dog started to bark. And as you were turning around, you were going to tell me what happened? As you were turning around...
As I turned around, I pulled my dog back, and Samuel just walked off. He didn't react. He didn't tell me anything. So I didn't assume anything, and I carried on with my walk. And that's what happened.
Well, it's kind of...
I don't want to hear you, sir. You weren't there.
Okay.
Let me tell you, Miss Rodriguez, why when you start to tell a lie, I always have a saying, and that saying is, if you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory. I'm going to read what you swore to in your answer.
Okay.
On the day of the incident, I was walking Nala and pushing Alana in her stroller. As plaintiff's son approached, I pulled Nala's leash and kept her on my left side.
Yes.
I directed him to pass on my right side. Once he passed, I started walking again. All of a sudden, his son came up from behind us and scared Nala. When he startled us, Nala reacted to protect us. Now, what part of that didn't you put in? You want to look at it? You signed it. You swore to it.
No, I have a copy, Your Honor.
Wait, just a second. What part of that didn't you tell me?
I just gave you the simple.
No, that was very
story.
specific. I was swinging to the right. I was swinging to the left. I turned around. He walked away. What part of all that my dog was protecting us because he came up from behind, didn't you see, when you have a truthful story, you don't have to have a good memory. You don't want to read this again, and you don't want me to read it again, right?
Sure,
okay.
yes.
Were you cited once or twice for your dog biting somebody within a week's period?
Once.
Once, and that was this child?
Yeah, the one.
That was this
the one
child?
incident, yes, ma'am.
And what happened with the other incident?
Nothing came to be of it. The dog was not on a leash, so it was really nothing to.
Can I see the bite, please? You have photographs and the medical bills.
Yes. Added with those are the requests in regards to the payment made by the insurance company, the request for those dollar amounts being returned to them.
Actually, the amount that,
With the wrong name.
like 10,
Correct.
your insurance covered most of that?
The out-of-pocket for the medical
Yes.
was just a hair over the $1,346. That includes all the medical and my missing of the time from work.
No.
Medical alone.
I just want what you were out of pocket on your medical. That doesn't mean
Your
that
Honor,
I'm
I have the
discounting.
email where he sent us the out-of-pocket expenses that he
I'd like to see it.
expected of us.
Here's a copy of the two medical records.
Just a second. His out-of-pocket was about $300. Now, this is my problem with you, Ms. Rodriguez. First of all, because you either lied in your deposition or you lied when you told me your story. I'm not so offended by that, although I should be, for the court be offended by that. What I'm offended by for this young man is, I believe you sensed in your dog that your dog was uncomfortable as Sammy was approaching. Either you knew that because your dog had been aggressive before,
No.
or you knew that because your dog at that moment was agitated. Now, how long have you had the dog?
5 years.
Well, then maybe it's because when you have a dog for 5 years, and I assume that this is your first baby,
Yes.
and the dog has been your baby for 5 years, and you have a brand new baby, that the dog is not happy. Been there, done that. And the dog's personality changes. The dog's personality changes because the dog is jealous of the new baby in the house. And I can guarantee you that you've seen signs of that change of behavior since your new baby came home. Whatever it is, when Sammy passed, Sammy did not come back in an aggressive way. Sammy did not double back to a barking dog. That's not the kind of child this is. And if you sense that your dog was agitated, you cross the street. You don't direct the child to walk around you. You get your baby buggy and your dog and you move them out of harm's way.
I understand.
Well, I'm
you're
glad
saying,
you
but-
understand. I'm glad you understand. Do you still have the dog?
Yes, I do.
Well, you just be careful of that baby. I'm just telling you.
Oh, I have pictures here of my dog
Listen.
and the baby, and she
you know how
absolutely
many
loves.
do you know how many pictures I've seen?
Well, I just like to say
do you know how
that
many
my
pictures?
dog's not a
just-
dangerous dog.
Your dog bit the child for no reason.
I disagree.
There was a reason.
Listen, so far your wife hasn't given me a reason. She's given 2 different stories, but not one reason.
It's the same story, just one story is more elaborate than the other.
No, madam. There are 2 different stories, 2 entirely different stories. Unfortunately, this is on tape,
Yes.
so the 10 million people who are going to watch this case will see that you told 2 distinct stories, but neither one of them suggest that this child did anything wrong. One day, out of the blue, your daughter is going to be crawling on the ground, and Nala, Nola, whatever the dog's name is going to say, you know what, it was much better around here before I had competition. And then you're going to say, well, she never did that before. But the truth is, you've been forewarned. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,500. We're done.